Hello everyone and welcome to Network Playroom. This is the 9th video in the Christmas calendar series, and today we're going to talk more about the bridge ID, which is used by the Spanning Tree Protocol to determine the root switch. So in the previous video I mentioned that the default bridge priority is 32,768, but what I didn't tell you is that it can be modified only in increments of 4096. And in this video, you're going to find out why. So the Spanning Tree Protocol requires that each switch has a unique bridge identifier or bridge ID, which controls the selection of the root switch. And Cisco actually supports per VLAN Spanning Tree Protocol, which is why the VLAN is encoded in the bridge ID. So this way, each VLAN can have a unique bridge ID without needing a unique MAC address for each VLAN. So the bridge ID is an 8-byte value, and the first two, or the two most significant bytes, are used for the bridge priority, and the remaining 6 bytes are derived from the switch MAC address. And we'll ignore the MAC address part and focus on the bridge priority only for the purposes of this video. So the bridge priority consists of the priority value itself, which are the first 4 bits, and the extended system ID, which are the following 12 bits, and which hold the VLAN ID. So this is the diagram that I had in my previous video. So here is the bridge priority value, the first 4 bits, and then following that the system ID extension, which holds the VLAN ID and it's 12 bits long, and then there's the MAC address of the switch, which is 6 bytes long, and we'll ignore that part. So the extended system ID was added in Cisco iOS Release 12.1, I believe, but don't quote me on that. And it has been supported on later releases since then. And let me open up a hidden layer here, because these two tables show the differences between when the system ID extension was disabled and when it was enabled. So when this extended system ID was disabled, all 16 bits were used for the bridge priority, and you can see that on here. So that's all there is on this field. There's no VLAN ID, and all 16 bits are dedicated for the priority value. But when the extended system ID was enabled, only the first 4 bits were assigned to the bridge priority, and the rest were given to the VLAN ID. So right here you can see this is now the bridge priority value, and the rest is the VLAN ID. So right here the first 4 bits, and then the remaining 12 bits for the VLAN ID. So the bridge priority value is configurable using the Spanning Tree VLAN priority command. So like this, Spanning Tree VLAN, and then the VLAN ID, and priority, and then the priority value. So since the default priority value is 32,768, so for VLAN 1, which is also the default VLAN, you would have a command, something like this, Spanning Tree VLAN 1 priority, and then 32,768 in the configuration. It could be a hidden command, I'm not sure, but that is the default VLAN and the default bridge priority value. So the command should be like that. So that is the command to configure the bridge priority, but effectively this command can only manipulate the first part or the first 4 bits of the bridge priority, because the remaining 12 bits are reserved for the VLAN ID. So with this command, you can effectively only influence this section or this part. So since we can only manipulate these 4 bits, let's think about what values are possible given this information. So how many different unique ways can we arrange these bits? So let's think about the lowest value and the highest value first, because they are the most obvious. So the lowest value is all zeros and the highest value is all ones. Let me make some more space here first. Let me get rid of this. Okay. So the lowest value for these 4 bits would be 0, 0, 0, 0, and the highest one would be 1, 1, 1, 1. And then the second lowest value would be 0, 0, 1, 0, and the third lowest 0, 0, 1, 1, so on and so forth. So when these are converted to decimal, they are 4,096, 8,192, and 12,288 respectively. So you can see that the priority value is always incrementing by 4,096. And that is essentially because we can't touch these 12 bits because they hold the VLAN ID. But now let me get rid of this information and I'm gonna show you another table. So let's hide this one. So this table lists all the possible values and their equivalent in decimal. I've used all zeros and grayed out the extended system ID or the VLAN ID bits so we can focus on the bridge priority. So here you can see, of course, the lowest and highest values. And these are like all the variations, incrementing by 4,096 each time. And this column holds the decimal value. So by default, the bridge priority is 32,768 right here. And you can see the bit pattern. And we can actually verify that number using a converter. So let me jump to my browser. So what that would be is 1 followed by 12 zeros. I hope that was 12. So let's convert that and the result should be 4,096. Oh, sorry, to get the default priority, we actually need 3 more zeros. What I have done now is essentially this number. So we need those 3 more zeros. So let me do that again. So 1, 2, 3. So now we should get 32,768, which is true. Okay, let me go back here because I have another nice diagram here. And this is not mine, this is from firewall.cx. And here you can see what the bridge priority would look like by default. So here is the system ID extension, which holds VLAN ID. And we're looking at VLAN 1, as you can see here. And here is the default bridge priority. And as we've just seen, it's 1000. And when you put those two numbers together, you get 32,769, which is what you would see in the show spanning tree output, because that is what the bridge priority is in total. The bridge priority value itself, and then the VLAN ID. But yeah, that is why you can increment the bridge priority value by 4096 only, because we can manipulate only these 4 bits. Okay, I hope you found this video useful, and thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.